Welcome to my 12-minute webinar on how to create online events. I had a recent client and I'm helping them put these events together and kind of structuring these type of things in order to make them successful. And so this is literally 12 minutes. Some of it's pre-recorded and took parts off that actually talked to him as a client. I thought this information was so valuable. And the meat of it, which I did not talk about, and I'll bring it up now, is when you're developing online events, there's usually two big parts of it. One is the personal part, so they get to know you, they get to know the guest speakers. For example, I was in the United States Army. I am a single father. I am a developer. I created my own SaaS product called Scoop. It's a LinkedIn video and sales tool that really converts. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'll have a slide on some of those things and a slide for each of the users. And so that is the first part. The second part is really about transformation. That's what all these online events are all about. So they're at point A and you are transforming them to be at point B. You're offering transformation in order to get there. And so I have some hints and clues and structural stuff that makes a big difference. Now, online events by far are one of the most powerful channels, but they don't happen by themselves. They happen through your LinkedIn outreach, through your content creation, through your DM conversation, and through your opt-in emails as well. And they work through multiple channels. And so multiple channels together makes a big difference. So enjoy the event. And please, if you have any questions or want to engage, I'll be here at the live event to answer any questions. Always open to help. All right. Thank you very much and enjoy the show. I'm putting this video together to write down event stuff and to help out any way I can. I put a little guide here and I'll be adding stuff. I forgot to add the email stuff, but I'll add it afterwards. But I'll go through these items. These are two examples of events. One only had about 150 people attend, but they had over 300 people. I had about 300 or so views on it. So more people viewed it than actually attended it and originally registered to attend it. This event is where I had 7 book calls at the end of that. And I received those calls because I got 2 right at the event and then 5 through the email system. And so this is an example of probably a decent formatted. I'm not the best at the presenting, but as far as the format, it worked out really well because we had guest speakers. And the guest speaker was kind of ancillary to my business. I am a LinkedIn consultant for systems. We had an email person and we had a salesperson on it. And we were talking about converting high value offers on multiple channels, basically the program that you're running. And then we talked about the personal stuff first, and then we talked about the transformation. And so those are the two things that we really got involved in. Another thing, and I'll go through some of these real quick, but I put both of these links. This link right here was really good because it had 1,000 and a couple hundred people actually viewed it. And we only had a couple people register. I had a lot fewer people register, only 341 people register. So we had a lot more viewers than registrations on that. But these are LinkedIn Live. I suggest you do a Zoom type of thing instead of a webinar. That way it can be interactive. Interactive will convert a lot better, but it has to be managed pretty well. But I'll give you 2 examples. This is example 1, which I would probably take more cues from. Again, it's not perfect. This is example 2 that has some good parts of education, but it's really designed for the people who want to sit and learn and not convert. And so I would take aspects of this, but really go by the style here on the left. Now, over here, we talk about things like the videos, the actual event, what to do. There's certain things in here. I would structure the whole event to be about 30 minutes, knowing that it will go up to like an hour-ish, and tell them it's going to be 40 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever, probably 40 minutes. And I would use a Zoom style. It doesn't have to be Zoom, but it would probably work out better if you see the people. And that way they can be more likely to interact and develop, and then have certain rules in there as well. So I would start by, as people are joining, simply ask certain things like, where's everyone coming from? I see you're joining. And then as they chat or put it in or they talk or something like that, before all the other people come up, you can say something like, hey, John, thanks for joining. You're from Las Vegas. I haven't been there for a while. They do have a lot of great events happening, and it is a major hotspot for networking, I hear. What's your take on it since you live there? And then have them answer on the chat by texting or on the Zoom. When I say Zoom, I don't mean the name brand Zoom, but the networking meeting, the video part visually. And then you want to lay out the direction and what the event's about, and then the rules. So you want to do the niceties first, then you want to run the rules, and then you want to talk about what you do. Well, I would say talk about what your guest speaker does, and then what you do. And it's always good to get a guest speaker that is a happy client or a person that has something similar to you but runs ancillary. For example, I know email and I know sales. I am not a salesperson, and I am not an email expert. And so those people will have a little pushback, which is great for banter, and that's important too. And I always say this event is this, and this. We'll have a giveaway prize for the person that's most active, and the prize is it's actually 2.5 hours of business consulting, which comes out to about $750. I run a 300 hourly consulting, and the business consultings really consist of A, B, and C, which is probably a way to run an audit for what they're doing, or however you want to say that. And then in your call to action, you'll have one call to action, and that's your booking link. You will have your booking link up on a screen. You'll have the QR code, so you can ask people to use their camera to record it. And at certain times, when you're showing your slides, you only want to show them as a primary when you are talking about that one thing, and then you want to bring it down. Most of your event should be your face because you're the star. If you put the screen up as a primary, it kind of takes away from the whole presentation. They're there for the presentation for you, not to look at the slides. So as soon as you can remove the slides or reduce the slide and increase your vantage point, is the better. That way you also can get good content out of it as well. You show 1 or 2 case studies. You talk about the client in general, keep it under 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes explaining what the problem was, you explain the solution. Well, their area of problem was this, and this. We saved them X amount and earned them this amount in the business, and they increased their business by 2-fold within, whatever that case may be. You want to be very clear on the outcome, and then you want to ask other people what businesses they are. Do they want to improve on their business? Can they see themselves in what would you do with an additional 40% of revenue, or whatever the case is? And would this be something they want to talk about? Put a 5 in the chat if this is something worth talking about. A meeting's always free. Oh, it looks like John's interested. Just to tell you what, here's my booking link. Why don't you schedule right now? I'll keep this up as I'm talking about the next item. You have the guest speaker to go back and forth on what you have done for them and what you've seen firsthand with dealing with him or working with him for a customer, or where the case may be. And if appropriate, ask who's booking. And that's the one you have to feel out a little bit. The other thing is talking about how to promote the events. You want to have 4 to 5 weeks. Use your sales connector system to send out the in-mails, the free in-mails, and invite 1,000 people in a week from your account. But you also want to post at least once a week about the event. But the post is not just about the event. The post is about an element of the event. That way, it's education. You're educating and entertaining. That's what it is. You want to edutain the people. And so you always want to lesson learn within that post. And then you talk about the event. And then you also want to ask other people if they could invite up to 1,000 people at the event page. The reason why I do that, say you get 20 people doing that, your event will blow up, because then you're hitting all these different networks and that sort of thing. And so you can have a post like that and give them simple instructions. On the event page, you need to make it super clear, because you have a booking link. You need to make it super clear that use this booking link below and have a big old arrow on it and that sort of thing. After the event, have a post So I would set a really cool set of slides, kind of like how I did for you for the event, and then use those slides and only have maybe like 6 slides. You have a cover page, you have the booking link on the end, and you have the stuff in the middle. That way you can kind of go back and forth. And then, your cover page, your page about the guest, a page about, 2 case studies, main points on things that convert, and then your booking information with your big old QR code on it. That's how I would design the post. And that post would happen after the event. And then, so that's something that I would definitely do as far as the event. Now, the emails, you need to have 5 emails. And I've offered before, I never got those emails. I would send 1 email per business day after the event. So if the event's on a Wednesday, you have a Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday you send it off to. And the first one is talking about the event. Here's the replay. The second one is showing the slides or a link to the slides or some information. And third, talking about points. But all of them have your booking link in it to schedule some time. Your giveaway should be like that 2.5 hours of consulting, which is $750 value. I'll probably just give away one of those. And the person I give away with would be the most engaging individual, the one that's actually engaging on the event. You want them to actually talk about certain things. And you want to keep 10 minutes to talk to people specifically, not just a Q&A, but say if they have similar issues and what their issues are. You may not want to ask 1 or maybe 2 people. You can go over the clock really easy on that. So I would target 1 and see if you can keep another one within like 4 minutes and talk about that. And so you want that exchange, and that way you will convert a lot better. Hopefully your email list is growing from your events, as well as all your meetings from all your